Is it possible to change your personality? And is it bad to want to try? When I was a kid in the early 2000s, the kids in my class would say I was so random. Random was middle school speak for a kind of unpredictable weirdness. People called me so random a lot. I was always speaking in these weird voices or making stupid jokes or bursting into song. Random is fun. Random is a good hang. But you know what random isn't? It isn't mysterious or popular or cool. I moved around a lot growing up, and every time I started a new school, I tried to change my personality, stamp out the random. This would be the school where I would finally be cool. On the first day, I locked away the random side of myself and tried to be the most mysterious, alluring version of me. Try not to smile or laugh too much. I scribbled poems in my notebook. What am I listening to? Oh, just this band you've never heard of. It was probably Green Day. I'd usually keep the charade up for a couple of weeks, but at some point I'd get comfortable with someone and slip into a weird voice or make a stupid joke. And then my cover would be blown, and I'd feel like I'd have to come clean about who I actually was, which was a weirdo. I always felt horrible after I cracked, like I wasn't disciplined enough to change my personality. But now that I'm telling you the story as an adult, I'm like, why did this seem so important to me? And why did I think that I could change something so fundamental about myself, like my personality? Welcome back to Try Hard. I'm Alex Sujong Laughlin. In every episode of this podcast, I'm talking to someone about something they've always wanted to do, but haven't yet. First, we dig into why they want to do it and what's been getting in the way. Then, we set a challenge for them to work toward. They spend a few weeks prepping, and then we check in afterward to hear how it goes. This week's guest is trying to change something fundamental about her personality, her introversion.
My name is Yowei Shaw, and I am a tryhard.
Yowei is a professional talker. She's a journalist and the host of the podcast Proxy, which is really good, by the way. But even though her job requires her to speak into a mic every day, she still feels uncomfortable being perceived, especially in person. So in today's show, she's trying to learn to be better at public speaking.
I am trying to get better at taking up space in front of other people. And I don't mean just like exist. I mean like command attention. So like, in the most basic terms, public speaking, right? Like talking in front of a group of people. Like I want to do public speaking in a way that is like appealing and entertaining and charismatic, where you want more. I guess I'm talking about like I want to learn how to do public speaking at the highest level, which is it's a stretch because of where I'm coming from.
Okay, where are you coming from?
Well, okay. I have never been someone who's in the spotlight. Like, if I'm given an option in a social setting to speak or not speak, I will not speak. That's my go-to mode.
So, like, obviously, like, you're an introvert.
Yes.
But is it more than that?
Yeah. Okay, if we're going to go, like, way back, if we're going to get, like, deep,
Let's go. Packing my bags.
Okay, so I think that my discomfort with talking in front of other people has to do with my childhood. It always goes back to childhood. But
of course,
I grew up in a household where no one ever asked me how my day was, which was honestly kind of awesome as a kid because like I could fly under the radar. So it was very easy to hide. Okay, here's an example. A normal night in the Shaw household growing up, we would all sit down to eat at our placemats, and like I would routinely have a book. And like other people would have a book. And we would sit in silence and eat as quickly as possible. and then retreat to our various like activities that we were doing. And it was like no one was like, what did people do today? What was, what's the gossip? Like, highs and lows. Anybody have any interesting stories from the day?
Wow.
Is that not normal? I think that I just didn't get a lot of reps. I just didn't get a lot of reps talking in front of a group of people. And so it's very funny that I'm in a profession where I guess I'm a professional talker. But yeah, it is kind of funny that I have a recording booth with a microphone and like that. This is my job.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting because like this sort of discomfort with being perceived by people, being sort of main character vibes, it seems like the product of both a nature and a nurture factor.
Yeah.
Like temperamentally, you are not somebody who, takes up a lot of attention, but also like that's just how you were raised.
Yeah.
Did this show up for you in other parts of your life?
Well, let's see. So like my husband has a really big family. He's one of 4 siblings. Every time we get together, it's like chaotic. It's wonderful. People are jockeying to like get a word in. And it's just a very different vibe than I'm used to. And my typical way of showing up in that space is I'm quiet. I enjoy listening to everyone, but I'm not really participating. And it makes me sad that I'm not really sharing myself with my family. I'm not connecting in the way that they like to connect, which is to be in a large group of people regaling each other with tales.
Yeah. And also maybe like in a way that you might want to connect with them.
Exactly. I mean, I'm the kind of person that still gets nervous asking questions in front of a group of people. Like that's public speaking to me. It's not just when you're on a stage. In terms of like how it feels in my body, like your insides turn cold.
Yeah.
Your digestive system stops working correctly. And I just feel unworthy in a very deep, fundamental way, Like it's like my biggest wound.
Wow.
Like I'm just, taking off the Band-Aids and I'm just like, here I am with my wound.
Oh my God.
It's leaking. Don't look at the stuff that's oozing from it. Please don't look at it.
After the break, it's challenge day. Hey, if you're feeling moved by the Try Hard spirit, I want to hear from you. Send me a voice memo about the things that you're trying at podcast@defector.com, and I might play some on the show. You can also send me videos or tag me in your stories on Instagram at Alex Laughs. Okay, so what is the challenge that you have decided on for this episode?
Okay. So one of the things that I have vowed to do is to always say yes whenever I'm asked to do public speaking. So like a panel or like, any kind of, like I was asked to give a keynote once, which was very scary, but I said yes. And for this episode, the thing that I am trying to do is MC a party for my friends. This is something that I did last year. My friends run this like really beautiful queer Asian collective zine project. They throw this fabulous Lunar New Year party every year. Like it is the shit.
It sounds so great.
There's like vendors, there's delicious snacks. There's like all these performers, there's drag, there's like drumming and dancing. I always have a really good DJ. And I fucking love it. And I love them. So it was a huge honor to be asked last year.
And you had never done anything like that.
No one has ever asked me to be a party host or would think of me as a party host. For them to ask me, I was like, oh my God.
What does emceeing this kind of party look like?
You know, I'm making it seem like a really big deal. And to me it is. But it's essentially, you're just like introducing the performers. You're doing housekeeping. Like, remember, fill out your slips for karaoke. Karaoke starts at 8. You're just like keeping the thing moving along and letting people know what's happening next.
And you're on stage.
You're on stage. You're on stage a lot.
Okay.
Like, you're on stage probably like 5 times during the night. And so that was the assignment. And last year, I was really nervous, and I was practicing and writing my script months in advance because that's how nervous I was, which is ridiculous. And I have...
It's not ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous?
This was a really big deal.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
You're like in front of your community.
Yes.
You're like very much being perceived.
Oh my
I
God.
Totally get it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for validating my preparation. So yeah, I was really, really nervous. I had this whole plan because I didn't want to just like... You know, there's MCs that go on stage and they're reading from a piece of paper and it's really boring. Have you been to events like that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most MCs that are not, you know, for events that are not like the Oscars or whatever are like, you know, it's just some dude. And it's not like that person isn't really necessarily thinking about themselves as putting on a show or, you know, trying to like foster something. You know, it's kind of a logistical job.
Yeah. I did not want to be that kind of MC. I wanted to be like the kind of MC that like brought the right energy into the room and like got the party started and like got people feeling good and like got the performers the shine they deserved. And like I wanted to be funny. And so I came up with this whole plan. I was like, okay, Lunar New Year, every time on stage, I'm going to be dressed up as a different Lunar New Year symbol. And I'm like an orange or a fish or a dumpling. And I'm going to, for my music cue, I'm going to go out on stage dancing like that thing. So like an orange, I'm going to like roll around on stage. And then for like the fish, I'm going to flop a lot. I just wanted to be like a clown, you know, like... Yeah,
you're just like doing the absolute most.
Yeah, I'm just doing the most. I'm being a tryhard. So that was part of, I had all these tricks up my sleeve. I was like, okay, I'm going to do all these costume changes. I'm going to do this like dancing bit. And then the grand finale was like this dumpling ritual. And I got on stage and I immediately bombed. Like immediately. My first entrance was as a dragon. And I was wearing like, you know, one of those costumes where it's like an inflatable thing that has like a little motor inside that keeps it.
Oh yeah.
So I was wearing
inflated.
One of those like I'm riding a dragon. Like that was the costume.
Oh my God.
And I was like riding the dragon around the floor on my way to the stage. And I just did not commit to the bit. I just immediately got scared, you know, and I could just feel, I just lost control.
How do you know that you're bombing?
Well, I mean, I did not feel like I was in control of the room. I felt bad. I felt like people were not laughing at my jokes. I think you just know it when you're bombing. Like, you just know it when you feel it. And I went back off stage after my little set, and I was just like, fuck. Like, I have to go out on stage 4 more times in 4 more different costumes, and I've already bombed. Like, what the fuck? And I'm just like pacing back and forth in my little green room. And then I just decided to like, I'm just going to try to have fun. And I pretty much did bomb every other time that I went out. Like, I didn't totally land the joke. The one thing that did work was at the very end of the night, I had this like ritual planned where I would go out dressed as a dumpling. I had people bring out a kiddie pool, and then I had these jumbo-sized your face is looking you're like looking appalled right now. I had these jumbo-sized bottles of like soy sauce and black vinegar that I handed over to my friends, the organizers of the event, as a surprise. And then I was like, okay, now you need to sauce me up. And then I got into the kiddie pool, and then I got the crowd to chant, "No dry dumplings! No dry dumplings!"
No dry dumplings! No dry dumplings!
And then they sauced me up, and that was a crowd pleaser.
Okay. All right. And I've seen pictures from this, and it looks absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, so that is the backdrop.
Okay.
So
that was last year.
And I thought that was it. I was like, I'm not going to be invited again. Like, whatever. This is not my thing. But this year I got asked to MC the party again.
Wow.
And it's like, of course I'll MC. Like, what an honor to be asked back.
Why is it of course? It's like, I feel like a lot of people would be like, oh my God, that was awful, and I'm never going to put myself there again.
Okay, but this is the thing. I am in this phase of just saying yes. I'm saying yes to every public speaking opportunity, even though it's torture and I don't always succeed. And the stakes were a little higher this year because things are so bad. It just felt like we need to have joie, you know, like this is an important event to like celebrate together and find some communal joie. And also in Philadelphia, we recently had this big win where the basketball team, the Sixers, had been planning to build this arena in Chinatown. And there'd been a 2-year effort organizing against it because it would be really, really bad for Chinatown. And we thought it was going to happen. And then at the last minute, a few weeks ago, the Sixers abandoned the plan. And so I was like, this is a chance to celebrate no arena. You know, like this is the time. And so I was like, okay, what if I get a basketball hoop? And what if we dunk the dumpling in the basketball hoop throughout the night to represent dunking on the arena, dunking on whatever villains, you know, terrible billionaires.
Forces of gentrification.
Yeah, just like anything we want to dunk on throughout the year. Like we can just like keep dunking throughout the night. So I had this whole plan and I was like, okay, I think this is really going to work. I feel good about this. I also decided no stress this year. I made myself wait till the week of to write my script. And yeah, I was like all set to go.
All right, I'm hiding from everyone else because I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm just about to go on, about to be an MC, about to host this party, and I don't know. I'm trying to not be as nervous as last year. I'm trying to be a little bit more calm. I'm trying to have fun. And also, I really want the dumpling ritual to work. I will be bummed if the dumpling ritual doesn't work. So we'll see what happens. All right. Wish me luck.
Talk to me about how you're feeling before the event.
I was feeling great. I was honestly feeling very little nerves. It was a complete 180 from last year. Like, I just...
Like, how is your digestion?
Digestion. It was actually, it was fine. It was actually, everything was working correctly.
Wow.
No, I'm serious. I felt good. And everything was going swimmingly. You know, like I put together the basketball hoop. I decorated the backboard with like, you know, little Chinese knots to make it look festive. And then when I got on stage the first time, I felt really, really comfortable. Like more, like I felt warm and not like from booze because I hadn't drank that much yet. Like the total opposite of last year.
I'm like halfway through my set right now. And yeah, I think it went okay. I'm having fun. But I don't think the dumpling bit is continuing to work. I think I have to retire it for the end.
People didn't really laugh at my jokes, but like, I think that it was going well. And then my third time on stage, I asked for volunteers. And you know when you ask for volunteers and no one volunteers?
Yes.
Like that is not a good feeling.
Yes. It's like teacher at the front of the classroom vibes.
Yes. Precisely. Yeah. And I was like, fuck. I bet it was like 2 seconds. And there was someone in front of me who I caught eyes with who finally took pity on me and she came on stage. But like, I just lost my confidence. And like,
oh, wow.
I just didn't commit to the bit. And like, I could see fear in her eyes. Oh my gosh. And so I felt really, really bad. And I had one more appearance on stage, like one more dunk the dumpling bit where I also had to like do MC business. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should have prepared more tricks up my sleeve. And I was like, I don't know if I should even do it. You know, like I should even do the dumpling thing.
Yeah, just kill it.
But before I got on stage, I asked my friend to find a plant. And I did the dumpling bit one last time. And I had a willing volunteer. And I think we ended on an okay note.
Okay, I have so many thoughts, so many questions. First, I want to talk about the sense of calm you were feeling before this party. I can't believe that you went back. I still can't believe. Like, I'm not sure I would have.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to go back another time. Like, after this, like, I was like, maybe I don't need to subject myself to this torture a third time. Like, maybe I can just enjoy the party next year. And, like, maybe I can just try a different public speaking challenge. Maybe one that's a little less high stakes, like not where I have to fail in front of all my friends.
Okay, so here's another question that I have. At the beginning of our conversation, you talked about where you are in a situation, you feel deeply self-conscious and you feel like everybody's looking at you. And basically every feeling of discomfort and like, you know, fish out of waterness that you have is magnified to the nth degree. The spotlight effect.
Yes.
And it is not a reflection, an accurate reflection of what is happening in reality, but it's so deeply real to you. Like, I wasn't there, but it's interesting to me that like the switch for you this time around from the party going well to when it started to feel like it wasn't going well, a big part of it was you losing steam in some way. And then the spotlight effect starts to happen for you. And you're literally in the spotlight, right?
Yeah.
And I would be like so curious to know, you know, I'm not going to talk to people who were there, but I would be curious to know like if they felt like, you know, something changed in that moment or if that was just something that you felt really acutely.
It's so hard to know because everyone, like my friends who were there were like, you did a great job. You did great.
Yeah.
But it's
Good
like,
friends.
how could I don't know if that's true. Like, of course, they're going to say that no matter what, because they're nice people and they love me. And I will say, as like a point of data, later in the night, someone came up to me and was like, "You're doing great." But like the way they said it wasn't like, "Wow, like you're doing an awesome job. I love what you do." It was more like, It's going to be okay.
It's clapping for the last kid in the track meet.
Exactly. I was like, wow, this is a very telling interaction right now.
Oh, no.
Like, I must be reeking of something to the point where this stranger is like, you're doing great. It's going to be okay.
Wow. I mean, that is fascinating to me also because it's like, again, like the thing that they are smelling on you is like your own lack of confidence.
Yeah. Which you can smell, right? Off of people. Like, it's a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, it's such a weird mind game you have to play with yourself because like the level of confidence you have isn't really related to whether you can do this thing. Like, you can do this thing. But the confidence is this like added factor that will either make you seem way better at it or way worse at it, depending on what you're bringing to the table that day.
Yeah, I really wonder what people think of me who were there that night and who were there last year. Because it's like, you know when you see someone do something that they're not particularly good at?
Yeah.
But like, they're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
Like, this is not like, you know, an improv class in some basement. Like, this is like a premier event for the Asian American community in Philadelphia. Like, why is this bitch on stage telling jokes that no one's laughing at? Why is she dressed in all these costumes? Why is she obsessed with doing things to dumplings? Like,
oh my God. Like, one might call this cringe.
it was absolutely cringe. Like, that is the perfect word. Like, I am the definition of cringe.
Me too.
Absolutely.
That's all we're doing here.
That's all we're doing. I think also my standards got higher for this year. You know what I mean? Like, because I already did the thing. Like, I got through it without throwing up or like, you know, whatever. Like, so now my standards are higher and I'm like, I don't want to just get through the night without throwing up. I want to also like make people laugh or, you know, like succeed, like be a good MC.
It's like the vulnerability of admitting to yourself that you want to be good at something.
Yeah, which I've never had any problems with doing. I have no shame admitting I'm a tryhard. I think it's like one of the only skills that I have. Because like if you can admit to yourself and to other people that you are willing to try at a thing and you are willing to fail and you actually want to be good at it, then you're on the playing field. And then you can actually review yourself and like critique yourself and give yourself notes and like try again and then you can get better. Part of me also wonders, like, can you really change your personality?
Yeah.
You know, like, am I really trying to do something that is an impossible task? I'm not just trying to learn how to like jump rope and do jump rope tricks. Like, I'm trying to change fundamental things about my personality and who I am and how I show up in the world. And like, am I just not accepting myself for who I am? Or should I go in the other direction and just be like, yeah, I don't like doing that stuff. I'm a podcast host that doesn't like doing stage stuff. Like, that's what it is.
Would that feel good to admit that, though?
I think it's just like a deep, deep immigrant thing to be like, if you work hard enough, you can achieve anything. And so, like, I think I'm constitutionally just like, no, that would be admitting defeat. And like, I just need to like put more elbow grease into this and I can fix my personality.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to that nature nurture thing I was talking about earlier, which is like how much of your discomfort here comes from who you are inherently as a person and how much of it comes from the way you grew up, the expectations that were placed on you, the assumptions made about you based on how you look or who you were friends with or whatever. It can be really, really difficult to untangle what is responsible for what when you're in your adulthood.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. It's a total mindfuck, truly.
Yeah. What do you think is the next step here?
Okay, so I really don't know if I will be asked again. I kind of doubt it. But if they ask, I think I'm going to say no this time. But I feel like every time I say yes to one of these opportunities, it always gives me a lead. So in this case, even though I feel like the night was a bit of a fail and like it kind of like I'm bummed about it, I was talking with a new friend at the party who mentioned working with a director who helps her like figure out how to talk, like to perform performance art pieces and, help her track narration for radio stories. And I was like, oh, like maybe that's what I need. Maybe I need to work with a director for a while. I've never done that before. And so I'm meeting with this director tomorrow and we're just going to have a consultation call. And so, yeah, I think that's the next direction for now. I think that's the one thing that I am proud of myself about is just like, it's like I'm trying, and it's embarrassing and it's cringe, but like we out here.
Yes. Dunking dumplings.
Dunking dumplings.
Now, is Yowei going to be able to change her personality? I kind of doubt it. But I think the secret here is to not try to change a fundamental part of yourself, but to work with whatever that is. So, Yowei is relatively introverted, but she's also zany and weird and creative and funny. And so her version of hosting on stage is not going to look like Conan O'Brien at the Oscars. It's going to be her own flavor of that isn't trying to cancel out or negate any qualities that make her her, but instead is folding them into her stage persona. This only comes together when you've done so many reps and gotten really comfortable with feeling stupid and looking stupid. And that is the thing that's standing in our way when we want to try something new. I will be keeping tabs on Yowei, and next time she's on stage, believe me, I will be there.
And the curtain can't hide it when all the music quiets, 4 strikes and you're out. Photo booth, blood magic. Curtain can't hide it when all the music quiets, 4 strikes and you're out. Photo booth, blood magic.
Try Hard is a new podcast, so help us reach a new audience by writing a review on your podcast app of choice or telling a friend. Try Hard is written, hosted, and produced by me, Alex Sujong Laughlin. Editorial support from Tom Lay, Brandy Jensen, Audrey Mardavich, and Jae Towle Vieira. Justin Ellis is Defector's projects editor. Art by Lille Allen. Our theme song is Photo Booth by Avery Friedman. Mixing by Samantha Gattsek. Jasper Wang and Sean Kuhn are Defector's business guys. Thank you to the rest of the Defector staff. Defector Media is a collectively owned, subscriber-based media company, and Try Hard is a proud member of Radiotopia. I'm Alex Sujong Laughlin, and until next time, don't be afraid to be seen trying.